So I couldn't recommend it highly enough to anyone out there who suffers any sort of low back pain.
My mom said the first time I got on that thing and inverted, she said the look on my face, I looked like I was so relieved, the pressure.
And I will continue to use it for my back for many years to come.
It's been one of the best purchases that I've ever made in my life.
I have 6 grandkids, and I am able to get on the floor and play with them. Thanks for being there for me. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work and stay upside down.
Man, it feels so good and just really relaxes you. I don't know that I'll ever not use this every day.
We use it every night right before we go to bed. We love our inversion table and we couldn't do without it.
I just really wanted to say thank you.
We're hearing from some of the 3 million users worldwide who love their Teeter inversion table. And we're gonna give you all the details because I know you're going to be among them. This is so exciting to have during our hour of healthy living. Teeter inversion table, 40 years of really helping people to decompress their spine, helping to relieve and relax those tired, achy muscles. And if that's you and you're saying, I've heard of inversion, I hear people raving about it, but maybe you don't have your own table. Maybe you've used it in other places, but now you want your own so that you can be among those who use it every night before they go to sleep to help them relax, or every morning to help them get their day started. Donna, can I say right before we came on, Donna's been inverting for the last 30 minutes and she yawned. She said, oh, it's so relaxing. And that's the thing. This is the longest running piece of fitness equipment that we've had here at HSN. And it's because it continues to innovate and it continues to work across the board. This is the FitSpine. It's the X3 inversion table. And what's so great about what Roger Teeter brings to us continually for decades is that they continue to innovate and listening to your feedback and making it easier, more comfortable across the board. You've got a great sale price on this one, but $100 off of our regular HSN price. You get upgrades here that typically you used to have to pay extra for. You're not paying extra for. You get your lumbar support. You get your extra nodes where if you have areas on your back or your shoulders or your spine that need a little bit of extra work, you can customize that perfect fit. And we're gonna take you through it top to bottom so that you can feel totally comfortable with this. You have a 5-year full warranty. That's a big deal. And you also are UL certified. And for something that you're going to be inverted, that is also something that you wanna definitely take note of. Okay, they're customer pick. There are 460 reviews. It's a 4.7 star rating. This is loved, tried and true, not only by us, not only by the 3 million users worldwide, but also by this gentleman right here, Roger Teeter. And Roger, welcome, welcome once again. So great to have you here at HSN.
Tamara, hey, great to be here. And I want to tell you, I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Jennifer, that is agreed to model. You know, she's been using inversion after the free step. She goes on the free step because she broke her hip about a year ago, actually, the femur. And the free step is really giving her relief. And then inverting afterwards is recovering from the workout and helping the body to decompress.
Yes, and I love to have both of you here. This is my first time working with Jennifer as well, so it literally is a family affair. I want you to listen to, first off, we're gonna take a listen to some testimonials because some of you who are watching for the first time, maybe you're not sure about how inversion is gonna be right for you. Take a listen to Horace.
I was always an active person. I've always been physical. To have that come to a screeching halt was something I really couldn't live with. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my Teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and Inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
You know, Roger, I've seen that testimonial with Horace a few times. It gets me every time because when you finally get some relief from those aches and pains, it really does change everything.
You know, Tamara, I've been asked several times if that was scripted. Absolutely not. Horace had no idea. He had a testimony. We invited him in to tape his testimony, and he said, I'll come if I can meet Roger Teeter. He got there, and we told him, oh, he's not going to be there. You're going to have, but you can meet his daughter. So he was really disappointed. That was not scripted. We didn't know what he was going to say. But so what you heard is from the heart. You know, it does change lives to that degree. It changed my life to that degree. That's why I'm doing this at 82 years of age, because it changes lives. And I just love to see people have the ability to be active and do all the things they love to do, even into their 80s.
For sure. And let's talk about what inversion can do for you, because for some folks, maybe they've heard a little bit here and there, but we want to give them the details of what inversion can do for them.
Right. It does something that nothing else does. It's decompression. And in fact, FDA has registered Teeter as a Class 1 medical device and said that Teeter is indicated for 10 common causes of back pain, some of them really serious. You know, in mentioning back pain, sciatica, that's a pinched nerve. Spinal degenerative joint disease, that's the same as osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension. Herniated disc, that is huge. Or a bulge disc, that's something that leads up to a herniated disc. Degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. You know, those things are all caused by different things and events, but Teeter deals with all of them because it gives back pain relief 4 different ways. It takes the pressure off the joints. You got a pinched nerve, then it takes the pressure off. If it's a misaligned joint, when the pressure is off that joint and you're moving around, it will realign itself. It helps all the muscles in the back to relax, and it helps the disc to rejuvenate, to rehydrate.
Yes, and that's what we're talking about, and that's why I think there's a commonality for, like you said, of some of those indicators that were listed. A lot of people, as you're watching, you're nodding, saying, "Yeah, I can completely relate to that." So, as we talk about that, you mentioned the fact that this is an FDA-cleared Class 1 medical device because it has to be, because you are inverted.
Well, actually, it is something that only Teeter has as a Class 1 medical device with those 10 recommendations by FDA. It's also the only UL safety certified table. You know, a lot of tables look alike, and they do look alike, but they use the wrong steels. UL has a very tough specification that requires 400% user weight. In other words, this table's rated for a 300-pound user, but actually has to hold 1,200 pounds, and it has to hold 300 pounds through 30,000 cycles to full inversion and back. That's impossible unless you use high-carbon steels, heat-treated and key components, and Teeter is the only brand that uses those special steels. No other brand can actually pass the UL test as it's written.
Yes, and when you see all of the testing that is done with your Teeter versus other inversion tables, there really is no question which one you should go for. I love that we've got all of the best features. Roger, you put it all together in one amazing table. I'd love to take a tour of it. And not only is it a tour of the table, it's a tour of all of those safety features that we would be looking for.
Absolutely. You know, this is our top of our line table. It has a new name, a new look, and that's because it's been completely re-engineered. You know, we really do listen to what HSN viewers say, and they brag about the table and what it does for them, but they say, gee, I just was a little more comfortable. Well, Tamara, you cannot put foam on an inversion table. It interferes with decompression. You sink into the foam instead of elongating. You know, when you're inverted, you're going to elongate 1 to 2 inches. That's a real number. And that's what the magic is. The joints opening up, decompressing, taking the pressure off pinched nerves, helping misalignments to self-correct. And that can't happen with foam. So the way we had to make this more comfortable, massive re-engineering. We lifted the table off the frame. You can see the bed is 3 inches off the steel frame, and it's floating on 8 suspension points. Think of this as almost like a hammock that is floating on these 8 suspension points. When you sit on it, you actually sink into it like 1.5 inches as though it was foam, but it's not. In fact, we maintain this engineered surface to encourage decompression. So that is a huge, big change. Also, this easy reach handle, this was actually designed for clinical use, people with back problems that really can't bend over. This has micro adjustments that you don't have to bend over with if your bad's back. Super comfortable, secure ankle supports, comfort dial foot platform, big shoes, small shoes. It's adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6". And while I'm doing this, I might show you that it does fold up. A lot of people add that. Put it to the hole that is the furthest up, rotate it opposite of use. That's the trick. Don't rotate it opposite of use. That goes by, behind a couch or in a closet, springs into action in literally a couple of seconds. Adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6". You adjust it so that your height is the last number you can see. And we've got traction handles. These are actually my favorite upgrade in that you can set the easy angle tether strap, this strap here. And you want to use this the first time you invert, or maybe you use it permanently. That stops you at any angle you're comfortable with. That's a good angle, maybe even a little less the first time. And then if, let's say, you've got a herniated disc or sciatica, you really need more decompression than that angle is going to give you. That's what the traction handles are for. Yes. At that angle, you can use your arm power, push on these handles, and actually elongate your body as though you were in full inversion. So that's actually my favorite upgrade. I even use them in full inversion to add decompression.
Mm-hmm. And we're showing you that you can see the way that Donna was tethered. You don't have to go to full inversion in order to get the benefits. The more comfortable you get, the more you may want to, but Roger, just as we're seeing here, just a great muscle stretch that you can get, and you are fully comfortable in that position.
Yeah, look at that spine realigning itself. And here's the big secret. If you've got a pinched nerve, herniated disc, take the pressure off. You see those joints opening up? That takes the pressure off because those discs control the size of the opening that those nerves come through. A thin disc means a pinched nerve. Decompress that disc, open it up, and the pressure is off that nerve. So again, the first thing you're going to feel is those back muscles relaxing, and the tension running out your fingertips. And as you relax, your body's going to elongate that 1 to 2 inches. That's a real number. And again, those joints opening up, helping posture to correct, improving flexibility, helping those discs to rehydrate. Discs are avascular. They do not get their nutrition through a blood supply. They get it by absorbing moisture from surrounding tissue, but they can only do that when they're under low pressure. When they're under high pressure, which is what happens when you're standing or sitting, they're under high pressure, they actually lose moisture and they become thinner. You become shorter, yes. Everyone loses 3/8 to 1/2 inch of height during a single day. That's why your pants get tighter in the afternoon. It's not lunch, it's a compression wrinkle.
Yes.
Where you get in the car to drive home and you adjust the rear view mirror down because you're shorter, and then up in the morning. gravity is the most powerful force your body's going to see in your lifetime, and it'll steal your flexibility, it'll steal your posture, and reduce your choices. It'll give you less freedom. That's right. Teeter is a way to help keep that youthful flexibility, to have the freedom to make choices as you get older and do the things you love to do even into your 80s.
And that's why, as you were hearing some of those testimonials, folks were saying that they cannot see a situation where they wouldn't use their Teeter inversion table, because it just does so much for them on a day-to-day basis. You're only as young as your spine. We've heard that a million times. And so if you're saying, I want to go for it, please do. Call us, shoponhsn.com, and go ahead and pick it up. We want to take a listen to a couple of doctors. We've got Dr. Fryer and Dr. Long ready. Listen to them, and then we're going to come back and give you more info.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints, and the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
Okay, so I love to hear from the doctors. You hear from the testimonials from the folks who use it. If you've been wanting, and you know the benefits of inversion because maybe you've been doing some research on your own or studying about it or hearing about it, this is not something that's brand new. This is not like, you know, a hot new trend. Inversion has been around for years. As a matter of fact, we wanted to give you more information about that, and also, Roger, about the Nackhamson study. I'd love for you to take us through that.
Yes, the Nackhamson study is actually in all the textbooks. It was done by Dr. Nackhamson at Gothenburg University in Sweden quite a number of years ago. There were a lot of volunteers, and each one agreed that bright light, each volunteer allowed a pressure sensor to be surgically implanted inside the third lumbar disc. Pressure reading standing up as a baseline for each person, 100%. And then each person took different body positions to see how the pressure would change. Well, bend over, it doubles. But you knew that. You knew when you bend over, you have to be careful with your back. Did you know that? 50% higher load in good posture. And there's your formula for back pain. 2.5 times the load sitting. You know, you don't feel that. You feel your muscles. You've taken a load off your muscles. You've dumped it on your back. Your back is screaming. You just can't hear it. And here's another surprise. Going to bed, there's still pressure of 25% of standing body weight. And this is not caused by gravity. It's caused by the construction of the spine. You have hundreds and hundreds of ligaments, and you have 140 muscles in 4 layers, and they stabilize the spine. Very important, but they also hold it in background compression like rubber bands. And those rubber bands are strong. To decompress the joint, get those joints to open, all those little blue bubbles going in, that's the hydration, that's the nutrition. Discs feed on moisture that's absorbed from surrounding tissue, and it can only happen under low pressure. When you're in bed, you're still pressurized to 25%, and yes, there is an absorption of moisture by the discs. They gradually rehydrate overnight, but when the Teeter, you take that disc to at or near zero, it greatly accelerates the rate of hydration. That's why 3 to 5 minutes is really a real number. We're not really saying that. You can be longer. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Just listen to your body and go as long as you feel comfortable with it. But 3 to 5 minutes will take those discs to at or near zero, increase body alignment, posture, flexibility, getting stress relief, give you an oxygen wash to the upper body. As Colleen says, every time I come up, when she inverts at least once a day, if not twice, she said, every time I come up, it's like I just had a facial. Yeah. You know, because of that extra oxygen and blood going to the face, to the hair. And I got to throw in one more thing, because it clears the mind. Mm-hmm. You know, Andrew Lessman was on our show. He's been inverting as long as I have, 20-some years. In fact, 40 years. What am I saying? 40 years. And Andrew, who's all about science, you know. I asked him, now, is there a reason that you personally invert? And he said, yes, to meditate. It's to clear the mind.
Yes.
You know, to that oxygen wash to the brain, to get rid of the clouds and the fuzziness. Riley, my daughter, said she couldn't have gotten through university if she didn't invert 5 minutes for every 2 hours of study, for that very same reason, to clear the mind, to re-energize it.
And it really does. And I noticed the same thing, and I'm glad to hear other folks have said it, because a lot of times when we talk about inversion, we do talk about decompressing the spine and really kind of loosening up in that area, but that's what I find. I find that it is your time, your 3 to 5 minutes. It might be the only time that you get to yourself all day, but it's your time. So when you're inverting, whether you are going just part way or even full inversion, you do feel that kind of that relax and that calm, and that's your body starting to kind of reset in a way that I can't really think of much else that we do throughout the day can do. I love that we have this for you. I love that it's the 40th anniversary. The fact that people, you know, watching here at HSN have been inverting for longer than they've been doing any other fitness. And that's what this is. This is fitness for really for mind body. That's what it's about, for your back, for your spine. You get the latest and greatest when it comes to the innovations of the Teeter inversion table. You get the flexibility in the back and even the airflow that comes through here. So it's going to be comfortable when you lay down, and it's even concave, and it conforms to the curves of your back and your spine. You're going to get lumbar support, and it's a piece that you can adjust here, and I'll show it to you in just a moment, so that you can have that extra support on the curvature of your spine. You get cushioning where you need to. You get all of the holds where if and when you need and want to hold on, you're never just free flow. You're always in control, and that's important. Whether you're taller or shorter, you've got the cushions against the ankles so that even this is a comfortable hold for you. And the fact that this used to be an upgrade where you used to have to reach all the way down to clamp in, now you don't, because if you have back pain, reaching all the way down is the problem. Now you just push, and this is gonna be that great helper handle that allows you to easily get in and out. We have this on a mat. If you want to go ahead and get the mat, you can do that, but you don't have to. It could just go on your hard floors or even on your carpet. But if you want to go ahead and get the mat, you can ask about getting that as you're shopping. If you're shopping on hsn.com, read those reviews, because there are 460 reviews, and it is highly rated, highly raved about from all ages, men and women. This is that lumbar support that I was sharing with you that you can adjust and flex and customize. These are the nodules, and Roger, talk us through, we've got 8 different nodules of different heights here that can give us more of a customization as well.
That's right. When you have that knot in your back, and you just wish someone could put their thumb on that knot and push it because you can't reach it yourself, these are your thumbs. There are 4 different sizes, 2 of each size, and they have little wing nuts, and they can be put anywhere on these slots on the table so that you can find just that right spot. It can also work as a massage, but they're really intended to work knots out. Now, the lumbar bridge, that can be positioned in any position you want, height and depth, I mean how steep it is, and not only controls the curvature in your back in partial inversion, but the thing I like is if you mount it low, it kind of grabs your butt and squares your hips before you start decompressing, and that's what a chiropractor does. He squares your hips before he inverts. And I want to give a demonstration here on the table and kind of walk you through how you'd use it. You know, first of all, it's adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6". I'd put it on my height. And I'm not going to put the easy angle tether strap on, but you do that. Stop at an angle that you're comfortable with. Step in, pull it, micro adjustments. It's adjusted so that this pivot point is at the center of my mass. Therefore, I control it. It's like a teeter-totter, named after me. So I can actually rotate this table with the weight of one arm. Now again, if you were using, let's say you've got a herniated disc, but you also don't feel more comfortable in going beyond this angle. Put that easy angle tether strap on, stop yourself at this angle, and then use these traction handles to further push and decompress your body as though you were in full inversion. But as you get used to it, you can take the strap off, work up to this angle. Now you don't have to go beyond this. You'll know you're there because you got this grip here, and you can pull and push yourself into shape. There's all kinds of grips that you can use to twist your body and rotate it. Full inversion, you don't need to go here, but believe it or not, Tamara, actually 50% of regular invertees do go to full inversion, because once you get used to it, it's just like sitting at your desk, and you have the freedom of a much younger man. You can move around, you can turn the teeter into a workout station, crunches, toughest sit-up on the planet, inverted squats, sculpt the glutes, strengthen the hamstrings, and these traction handles, when you're balanced right, if you push on the end of the handle and relax, it's a push button release out of the inverted and locked position. You are in total control.
Yes.
And, you'll feel so good when you get off the table that even if you don't jump, you'll feel like you can.
You'll feel like you can.
I love my job.
I do too, and I love when Roger does that, because when he jumped, when was the last time you were able to move like that without the aches and pains that we go through every day? I encourage you to do it. Call us, shoponhsn.com. Read the reviews when you're there, and there are pages and pages of them. We're gonna take a listen to another doctor. This is Dr. Tons. While you're listening, I want you to go ahead and order your Teeter inversion table. It's called the FitSpine, and that's what it's about.
The discs that sit here are like shock absorbers we have on the car. So when you get up in the morning, you may be 6'1". When you go to bed at night, you're actually about 6'1½". You lose 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height as these shock absorbers get squeezed and the water comes out of them. Then when you're asleep, they rehydrate. One of the advantages, I think, of Roger's device is that you can do this during the day, too, and give yourself kind of a break from the constant pressure on your back and on these shock absorbers to allow them to rehydrate by taking all the pressure off and letting them have some freedom. People that get on a standard routine and do it again and again do far better than people that go for 3 weeks of therapy and then re-injure again in a year, go for 3 weeks therapy. A daily routine, which is what Roger's recommending, I think is a very good way of getting your back in great shape so that as we stay vertical for our lives, we don't start breaking down later on.
Okay, I loved hearing that. As we stay vertical, we're not breaking down later on because we're actually doing something to keep our spine as fit as possible. And this is something that doesn't involve popping a pill or having to always go to, see somebody about it. This is something that we can actually do on our own. Speaking of the spine, I wanted to go back to Roger because Roger, when it comes to understanding the spine, I think that's one of the mysteries that we all go through.
Absolutely critical. Virtually every move that you make goes through your spine. That's why when you have a bad spine day, your entire life is shut down. A spine here is communication central between the brain and every part of your body. All these nerves, there's 2 nerves for every disc, and they communicate messages from the brain to the body. You have a pinched nerve, that's sciatica, you'll feel pain down your leg or pain down your shoulder. But what you don't feel is the loss in communication, which could actually be fairly even more serious. When you invert and relax, these discs increase in size, they increase moisture, you have more space for the nerve, takes the pressure off, helps improve flexibility, correct posture. So to improve the mind-to-body communication, it's a way to keep youthful function. It's not just getting rid of back pain. I really want to emphasize this real quick because we all want to keep our youth, both the ability to use our body and ability to look good. Well, as you age, for example, your skin becomes less elastic and wrinkles show up, but that's coming. So you get ahead of the curve and you take care of your skin before the wrinkles show up. As you age, your spine loses flexibility. And Teeter is a way to get ahead of that, to help keep that youthful function, that youthful flexibility, that good posture that makes you look youthful and helps you move youthfully. Don't give away your age by how you move. Here's the aging spine. This is life on this planet. He not only has lost his figure, which is a big deal, but he's lost the flexibility. The discs are so much thinner. He doesn't have the room for the nerves to communicate. Look at the discs in the older gentleman.
Yes.
You know, and that means that the opening for the nerves are less and a very good chance of a pinched nerve. Keeping those discs healthy, keeping your posture so that you look youthful, you move youthful. Don't give away your age by how you move. And it's a way to keep that youthful function. You know, I wrecked my back 45 years ago water ski, running the slalom course. You know what I'm doing now? I'm water skiing, running the slalom course. I've been out 9 times in the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Gosh.
And 70 times last summer. And a lot of them running the slalom course. That's what I love to do, or snow skiing.
Yes.
You know, it would be impossible without a regular program of inversion to keep that youthful flexibility and function.
Well, Roger, you know what? I'm glad that you brought to us something that has allowed you to continue to do what you love to do, but also aids us in doing what we love to do. Roger, thank you so much for being with us. Happy 40th anniversary with Teeter Inversion Table. We'll see you again soon.
Right, and this is 23 years with HSN, so half our life has been with our HSN family.
Thank you, and we really do appreciate it. Take care, Jennifer. Great to have you as well, and we'll see you two again coming up in just a